In this video, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what to expect from Hazard Zone, the newly announced Battlefield 2042 experience that is here to go along with Battlefield Portal and then the all-out war experience that was of course what we got to play in the beta. So a quick recap for you, that first experience, All Out War, is basically Conquest and Breakthrough, the largest battles ever in the franchise with 128 players and huge maps. Battlefield Portal, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most, is the community-driven platform with unique experiences, bringing back some of the content from previous Battlefield games. Hazard Zone is the third experience, and let's get into what that's about. Bit of background for you, just before the game is set, in 2040 a worldwide blackout event reduced the number of satellites in the sky, tensions were rising between the US and Russia, and these temporary satellites were launched into space. Each faction was shooting them down, and the ones that hit the ground were then scavenged, with the intel being collected via those crashed satellites. Your job in Hazard Zone is to collect that data with your squad. The time you have to loot that data is low, it is limited, and you only have a couple of chances to reach the extraction point. So how will it play? You'll have a 4-person squad, and the job will be to locate and retrieve the critical data drives. You'll fight against opposing squads, all sharing the same objective as you. You choose how long you will stay in the Hazard Zone. Gather as many as you can, as the storm then comes in and prevents you from escaping. So it all counts, it's all down to being as fast as possible to get as much of that information and then basically escape if you can. The Hazard Zone is not a Battle Royale mode at all, it's more of an extraction mode where you're fighting against other teams in order to gain that all-important loot, and we'll get into that in a little more detail in a second. Your main objective is not necessarily to kill those enemy players, but to extract the information and get out of the Hazard Zone alive. You might choose that you want to be super sneaky and you set up your team in a certain way so you're not actually going to be in a whole load of firefights, you're just going to be grabbing what you need and getting out of there, maybe focusing on speed and stealth. Others might choose to go in with guns blazing, just taking out everyone in their path. There are 2 time-limited extraction opportunities per match in a different place at different times. A maximum of 2 teams can escape, and are you going to take the risk to go for that final extraction point and risk staying in the Hazard Zone for a longer amount of time, because you could of course leave with nothing. Choosing the right mix of specialists is key to survival. You succeed by surviving, so maybe going for something or a composition of a team that is best for survival with medics, but also good at taking out enemy players. If you do get in a firefight, maybe you're thinking of different ranges. It's all got to complement each other in this situation. You're taking the data drives because they actually have a value. Each one is converted into a Hazard Zone currency called Dark Market credits. You then spend those credits on weapons, gadgets, and upgrades. Speaking of Battlefield 2042, if you did play the beta, you'd realise that it was quite difficult to run. Many of you might be thinking about a new upgrade for your PC. If you are, consider using Apex Gaming PCs. They're a channel sponsor and I actually work alongside them and have my own custom range of PCs. You can find a link to that down in the description below. Click on that link, it will take you through to the custom page where you can see what builds I've put together with a PC for every budget. Check out the link in the description down below. So let's go through it quickly in a 5-stage system. What happens when you spawn in on Hazard Zone? First of all, you need to strategize and equip. You're in a missions area briefing, you've got to work out what's going to happen, who's going to take which specialist, what loadouts are you going for, where are the uplink locations. It will confirm the starting point as well, so as you build that team, you're kind of working out what you'll need for that specific map and that specific starting point. Then you're deployed as you insert into the Hazard Zone. The first job is of course working out where you are, getting together with your squad and retrieving a data drive. You will have an intel scanner helping you reveal the approximate location of the data drives. One team member of course has to bring this. Data drives can be scanned by using this intel scanner, and of course if you have one, the enemy team could scan you and work out where you're going. Next up, you have the extraction. The first extraction window happens roughly halfway through the match. You could leave with what you've grabbed, but might need to fight a bit longer if you want to pick up more data drives and get to that final extraction point. The last extraction happens close to the end of a match, far higher risks, but potentially way higher rewards. So a little bit of information for the different console players out there. If you're on Xbox One and PS4, you'll have 24 players in your Hazard Zone experience. For Series X, PS5 and PC, you'll have 32 players, so not a huge amount of difference there. Hazard Zone will be on all maps that have been confirmed for All Out Warfare, and the specialists will be restricted, so you can't take more of the same specialists, which leads to diverse squads, and then there won't be one particular specialist that's just everywhere. I think this is a really good idea from DICE. Another cool feature, if you're downed, you can crawl to safety, but then if you're killed, you're spectating. As far as I'm aware, you can actually be brought back via a reinforcement uplink, which is a tactical upgrade that you buy with those dark market credits, similar to what you have in Apex Legends. My thoughts on the trailer quickly. I thought the trailer was amazing, as usual, great trailer work. I think the mode definitely has a lot of potential. The key art is also awesome, and it pays a great respect to the actor who tragically lost his life. Irish in Battlefield 4 was a character that we all knew very well from the campaign. Seeing him return in Battlefield 2042 is amazing as a specialist, and you will be able to play him, as far as I'm aware, in Hazard Zone. I do have a quick query about the game mode itself, why it's just kind of another experience in 2042. It seems as though there's a whole load of content in this Battlefield game. If it's going to be around for a number of years, it does make sense, but for me, it could almost be a game on its own, if you see what I mean. That's not really a huge criticism, to be honest. As I've not played it, I'm struggling to think of anything that could go wrong here, but maybe getting the entire community behind it when there's so much more content out there could potentially provide a bit of an issue as you're splitting the player base. I'm not too sure. Personally, I think it's going to be great fun, and I'm looking forward to teaming up with 3 other players and getting in there for a bit of a different experience in Battlefield. Similar kind of to Squad Obliteration in some way, maybe, in terms of the team play. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we get to play it soon. Thanks for watching the video. Hopefully this helped you, as we got an update from DICE on what Hazard Zone is all about. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.